Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Oh, man.
Ah, yes. It's day 2 of the Skeleton Crew. We got another rotation in. Tyvis Powell is in. Shout out to Swagnito. Dustin Fox is in the building. Brought parting gifts. These are yours. You're gonna keep these, right? You're gonna take them back home.
Nothing gifted about it. I mean, just a loaner.
They just there on the set because you here.
I just happened to grab them this morning. I was walking out of the house.
I like them. I like them.
Keep a reminder. It's a big game coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Huge game, man. And we got a huge show. Likewise, McNuggets. We've been posted up. How long are we gonna do the Skeleton Crew things?
I mean, people on vacation?
Well, yeah. I guess that's what it's called.
Bull's off all week. Jason's off all week. I believe Jay's back Friday.
Jay been off for like 2 weeks.
So all the old white dudes is off.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the guys with money.
Yeah, all the dudes like
why does Jason get off?
Listen, Director Steve is
he take off during the year,
but we don't know what.
Steve's a grinder though, man.
No, he is not.
He's a grinder.
Steve gonna have some type of cruise coming up in the next 2 months. I can care less, Steve.
That's what it looked like when I ain't got glasses
I just tweeted out how I'm going to be more positive and spread more love. So I love you, Steve.
Hey, we still don't know what he does in his free time.
No, we don't. He's the most strange person
he skins cats.
on
That's
this thing.
Man, listen, you might be on Criminal Minds. You might be an unsub.
To answer your question, G, next week on Monday everyone back to being normal. So we got no show tomorrow, by the way. No UCSS tomorrow. It is a Tegna holiday. However, we're gonna have a live Cavs show at 3 o'clock, and then myself and Tyvis are gonna come at you guys with a post-game report on the Ohio State-Oregon game. So we're gonna have a live post-game show, and we'll have a live Cavs show. So we'll have 2 live shows for you guys at 3 o'clock for the Cavs, and then whenever the Buckeyes game.
And y'all did big numbers for that last one. I seen them. Did y'all do like 20-something thousand?
Who?
For the Buckeyes post game. Instant reaction after Michigan.
We did. Well, it was just me, but we did more than that. But it was all because it was the Fire and Ryan Day propaganda.
But I think y'all might get some numbers this time. After they get past Oregon, it's a rematch, number 1, 2.
I gotta address something. This is my last time being negative, but I gotta say this so I can be positive for tomorrow.
Okay.
So yesterday I'm on the phone talking to Cardell, right? So Cardell's been gracious enough to let me use his Tesla. So I've been using this Tesla for about a couple weeks now, right?
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, where you get that
from? Now listen, I know I've driven that car. I know that car like the back of my hand. Okay. Now the issue with the Tesla is I cannot go to Columbus and Cleveland and back in one charge. Like, it has not happened for me, right? Okay. So I'm on the phone talking to this man yesterday about the situation, and he tells me, he says, that's a lie, because I go to Cleveland, I go from Columbus to Cleveland and back in one charge all the time. And I say, Cardell, listen, listen, bro, I'm telling you right now, that's not the case. I'm telling you. I was like, I don't speed like that. I try to do everything I can to save this battery. So we go back and forth. So today, he says if you charge it all the way up, it'll get there, okay? So I didn't charge it all the way up last night. It was at like 240 miles. 240 miles, you should be able to at least make it to Cleveland. I had to charge in Akron. So this is what I'll have to say. Listen, I'm a grown man, okay? You're not going to sit here and just lie to my face like that. Like, I feel disrespected that he, you think he could just tell me anything. So I feel some type of way. Like, he questioned it like I don't know that vehicle. Like, I ain't been driving it. Like, what are you talking about?
Is it a second? Can you put gas in that one too?
No.
So it ain't a hybrid or nothing.
No,
Just
straight electric.
There's no hybrid Teslas.
Man.
You got to sit there for 45 minutes, 45 minutes.
Don't they have like a 15-minute fast charge thing?
I'm at the supercharge. Would depend on how long if you try to give.
Do we not have chargers in this building?
If we did, Dustin, I tell you what, it would change my life. I wouldn't say a thing.
We have them at the Halley building.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got right downstairs.
We ain't in the Halley building.
Well, you work for the Halley?
I'm not parking at the Halley building and walking over here. Is y'all insane?
I mean, it's right down the street.
No.
You
can McNuggets. You can park it in the bottom.
That's why.
Remember over here, right?
Remember how I used to get here at like 11:15?
Yeah.
Or like, excuse me, 10:15.
Now you don't get here.
I get here like 10:50. You know why? Because I'm charging that Tesla, so I ain't got to charge it after the show. I can just go.
Man, that's cool.
One other thing I'd like to address before the show begins is that Garrett, the only thing missing is a whistle. The only thing.
Yes, I do look like I am a defensive lineman coach. Like
D-line coach all day.
I'm over there like, hey guys, get your hand in the dirt. Get your start in alignment. That's the three keys.
Have you ever thought about coaching?
Yes.
You looked just like a coach today.
I was a GA. I was going to be a GA I was there for like 3 months. And then I realized
how time consuming it is.
I realized I'm not doing that, and I was in grad school and was like, I don't want to go to class. I barely graduated regular school.
Dustin, you ever thought about being a coach?
No, I like my life.
Being a coach is terrible. You got to say yes.
How is it being terrible?
Bro,
I like having like a little free time.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what level you do it on.
What level
do it in high school. What's wrong with that?
Nah, that's even worse. No.
How's that work?
Because
a masochist.
I want talented people. Some of these kids
you don't want to go to one of them schools that recruit.
Nah, that's outside of my jurisdiction.
Y'all saying y'all don't want to pay it forward?
I'll donate.
Pay it forward with the checkbook.
Yeah, I'll donate.
Yeah.
If I get big enough, I'll put the
I say all that.
Garrett Bush and Rosie Academic Center right there. I donate $5,000.
I say all that to say I ain't coaching either.
When you walk up to Bob Cummings Field at Plain Township, you'll see it right as you walk in the entrance way. There's a nice little post. It's a brick thing. It says the Fox family.
Ah, yes. Listen, you got
Randy
in.
Fox, Tim Fox, Derek Fox,
They
Dustin
got
Fox.
They got you in that friends and family donation.
Well, my brother made the donation.
See, look, right? I'm in on that. I got a line. Add a line.
My name's on it.
It was right there.
Shout out, D
Yeah,
Fox.
shout out, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Some things is time is more important than money. You could just throw money at things, but they value your time more than the money.
Money's a great place to start our first topic today, Ty.
Beautiful.
If someone has about $5.5 billion, we could be talking about their money here very soon. Also, if you're trying to win $5.5 billion, do it responsibly. But if you're going to gamble it with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to join today. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. So, guys, on Monday, Mayor Justin Bibb essentially declared war on the Haslams, trying to invoke the Modell Law to keep the Browns downtown. In the letter that Mayor Bibb wrote to the Haslam Sports Group, he said, the city needs 6 months of notice and the opportunity to purchase the team if the operating group wanted to move the stadium out of downtown, which is what the Browns are currently planning to do with the proposed Brook Park Dome. Haslam then responded with this from the Haslam Sports Group this morning to the mayor's letter saying, quote, "We have received and are reviewing the correspondence from Mayor Bibb as we stated months ago when we filed our lawsuit seeking clarity on the Modell Law. The statute and the city's actions create uncertainty and do not serve the interest of Greater Cleveland. As the city knows, after the 2028 season, we will have fulfilled our lease obligations at the current stadium. We are determined to create a project to solve our long-term stadium planning by building a new enclosed Huntington Bank field and adjacent mixed-use development, resulting in a substantial increase in premier large-scale events and economic activity for our region that will generate significant revenue for the city, county, and state. We intend to respond directly in due course to Mayor Bibb's letter and have no further further comment on this time at this time, end quote. So guys, Mayor Bibb says if you want to leave downtown, you have to give a 6 months notice and a chance to come up with a new ownership plan and or ownership group. Do you think the city of Cleveland can come up with a group? And is this just a show and pony act, or are we just kind of wasting everyone's time here? Dustin, start us off.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it, I guess, for a minute. This is going nowhere. It's nice that Mr. Bibb would like to get some support, I'm guessing, from the folks that really want this team to stay downstairs in that miserable dump of a stadium. But, yeah, I mean, we're talking about it, I guess, so he got what he wanted.
Wait a minute. You know how they say...
It's going to go. I mean, this is going to be nothing, and the Browns are moving. The stadium's moving.
I agree with that statement. You know how they say that you got to give like a 6 months notice and all those things? I mean, technically, they're giving them a, what? Am I wrong by thinking it's a 4-year notice?
Right.
Like, am I wrong by thinking that?
We will not be renewing our lease.
And it's 4 years from now. The end of it is 4 years from now, so I'm shocked that that's even a thing. Listen, I'm with
G. It's a little more detailed than just like our rental agreement with our apartments in college.
Right.
True. I'm with G on this one. Like they dropped the ball with this 10 years ago. Like
12, 13.
Whatever. Like they've been talking about they've been wanting a new stadium for years, and now all of a sudden y'all sat there and kicked the can for so long, and now that they did something to force your hand and put something in motion, now you want to get all serious about it. Like no, like it is what it is, and the fact that it's moving 15 minutes from where it currently is, like y'all gotta cut this out. Like it's not like they taking it and moving it out the state. Like they moving it 15 minutes to where I think more people actually would rather, for traffic reasons, they'd rather, and to be enclosed and all those things and all the nice things that's gonna come with it. They'd rather be there. Like I don't think a lot of people really truly like going down to that stadium downtown like that. I just was there a couple days ago, and it was not packed at all. You know, I get the record and all those things, but it's not. You know, a lot of people don't have a really good time there. So yeah, I don't. This is irrelevant. They go into Brook Park. It is what it is. I do want to see that downtown one more time, though. I want to see what that one did look like, because it was all right.
You want to see the pictures?
Yeah, let me see the pictures of the one, the downtown one. Yeah, the one right on, what is it, Burke?
Yeah, this was the proposed blueprint that was given out by the city after we saw the blueprint for the proposed dome of what it could look like if they were to build on Burke Lakefront.
Yeah, funny. Hey, I can imagine it. Hey, yeah. This Mayor Bibb. Hey, give me somebody on Fiverr. Yeah. I need a drawing of a dome immediately. I don't care what it look like. Put some boats, apartments, whatever, some spotlights.
Can't you just do that like on Google's AI?
AI.
I need a stadium
in
Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
That look, and the fact that he put that out right, like months after, like there was a situation where they had already told you where they was going to go and what they was going to do. This thing was dead in the water from years ago, man. Tyvis, you're correct. You guys had an opportunity to do something, and this is why when people say don't talk politics, I say you're a fool. What do you mean don't talk politics? This is all political. This has nothing to do with sports. So,
not at all.
So
it has nothing to do with the sport.
For the political people that hear politics and faint, you guys might want to turn off, because this is what it is. I didn't set it up this way. It is what it is. The city of Cleveland and most inner cities are ran by Democratic parties. For Mayor Bibb, he had to do this in order to secure his standing in the Democratic Party. Because guess what? If someone decides to run against him, you know what the first thing they're gonna say is,
you lost the Browns from downtown.
How you want this guy? Our biggest potential moneymaker, the biggest draw to the inner city and to get money inside the city is the Cleveland Browns. Not only did you not do anything to enhance it, you lost it. That bread is out in Brook Park. So he had to do that. Two, there's no way the Republican Party is going to let that ride. Jimmy Haslam has spent $6.5 million over the last couple of years, according to Cleveland.com, in just strictly political donations. His brother is former Republican governor of Tennessee. He's worth another $5 billion. The House is run by Republicans. The county is run by Republicans.
This guy's bringing a knife to a gunfight, buddy.
The state boards, all of them, the judiciary, all of these people are run by Republicans. And it's not like I'm talking about political affiliations here. I'm just letting you know where the bread is. And guess what? When they take this thing to court, as McNuggets talked about, when they take it to court to get some standing on it, they're going to try to get this thing put in a court that is favorable to the Haslams in their political affiliation. Needless to say, this is dead on arrival. This is a nice little grandstanding measure. If the city was really serious about doing something with the dome down there or doing something to renovating it, they would have got rid of that airport over there, Burke Airport, and got rid of that and did something. But here's the problem. Guess what? The reason that they weren't able to do anything with that airport is because rich people use that airport. So they couldn't even get the airport taken care of because they blocked that one too. So if you can't get the airport taken care of, what makes me think that you're going to stop an NFL owner that's going to use precedent and say, how many NFL cities do the team actually play in? New York? They play where they play. They play East Rutherford. Meadowlands.
They play in New Jersey.
They play in New Jersey. Yeah. How many teams?
So do the Jets, by the way.
How many teams actually play literally in the city
proper
that they are technically from?
Cincinnati.
Okay, I mean, Pittsburgh.
Well, Dallas is it? I can just give the ones I know.
Dallas is in Arlington.
Yeah. Buffalo's not.
Buffalo's in Orchard Park.
Okay.
The Jets and Giants play in New Jersey.
That's off the top of our head. We don't even know. Look, this is crazy. Think about this.
Miami's in Winter Gardens.
Jacksonville.
Well, I mean, the rest of this division, I mean, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cincy are all downtown.
They got those. But if I'm going to court.
San Francisco's in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
They just built a new one down there.
If I'm going to go to court, Tybus, I'm going to use precedent. I'm going to say, Your Honor, all these teams have been playing for years outside their city limits. Does that make them less of the New York Giants or less than the New York Jets?
My thing is, who has $6 billion just, even if they did have to sell the team, who got $6 billion just laying around?
Several people.
And,
Tyvis, real quick, on that point, Tyvis, in the letter, according to the Modell Law, so this was cited in the letter from Mayor Bibb, they come up with an ownership group. So not necessarily one person, but they have to find a group that would be able to purchase the Browns. So collectively.
Isn't that what happened in Washington? Isn't it a group that purchased them? The Commanders?
Yeah, but.
Yeah, there was one main guy, but.
They got stripped of their medals. In this case, Jimmy Haslam is in good stand. and let me get this. Am I correct in saying that they would have to put this to a vote? So the owners themselves would have to vote on that.
Wait a minute. Let me get this right. Hold on. Let me get this right. So back to the sell the team part. So they'll sell the team to a new ownership, and then the new ownership will come in and they will say, you know what, let's continue to play downtown.
That's their pipe dream hope.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think. Just let it go. Just let it go.
I don't know.
Just let it go.
I don't know.
Knock that stadium down. Go ahead and get you some nice renovations and do up the area really nice down there, right on the lake. It'll be nice. Fix some of them potholes and all.
No, it's a wrap.
And we could I'm just saying.
It's a wrap.
You could do things with that stadium, knock it down.
You know what
they're
scared of? Have you been to it sucks. You go to these major cities, right? Go to Oakland. Oakland had how many teams at one point in time?
3, didn't they?
Yeah, San Francisco.
They had the Warriors, the Raiders, and the A's.
Go down there and look around. When them little stadiums and domes and teams move, them inner cities be going down the drain. Because
Cavs and Guardians still right
they'll
here.
hold it down up there, but here's what you got to realize.
Go look at Pontiac, Michigan.
like when you lose these teams from downtown, you losing major revenue. Major. Look, and it's crazy because
you telling me the Browns win a game in Brook Park, people wouldn't travel 15 minutes to celebrate downtown?
No.
They're going to just celebrate in Brook Park.
Because Jimmy Haslam owns 5,000 acres with the best bars right next door.
Be popping down there.
Popping.
It's going to be like the Crockett Park of bars.
Oh, my God.
You know the crazy thing is? He collects all that money, too.
And if you get drunk enough, you can say, I'm calling off Monday and I'm going to stay in this 5-star hotel right across the street where I could go to the hotel mini bar and get hammered, too. You know what? Listen, it's going to be nothing but the highest and high end of fabulous ladies down there.
With them prices, with them ticket prices we see.
Oh, you guarantee it. Woo! You got to have the bag to be down there.
Them games go show look good on my TV, boy.
Some people might just sit outside.
Like people won't go to. I mean, if the tickets are too expensive, people will just hang out there.
They just post up in one of them bars and get these drinks.
They know that. Let me see that development again. Brook Park. Look at it. That's why I look the way it looks.
It looked like they got shaded walkways on this thing. You ain't got to be outside if you don't want to. Look at all that roof.
Look at that.
Look at that roof right over. I'll be right over. You see on the right little.
Like you got shaded walkway.
That little tent right there. There's a tent right there with all kind of concessions, and you get real food.
They're gonna go right to that hotel right there. Get hammered.
They get real food. They got pulled pork, ribeyes. People just outside the tent eating pulled pork sandwiches, bro. Are you serious? These guys, man. Yeah, come on, man. This is going to happen. When these drawings came out, people saw that little glass ceiling, McNuggets, it was a wrap.
So, Dustin, you weren't here or weren't on the show when this kind of first – we spent a ton of time on this on the summer in terms of why are we going through this show, this whole saga when we all kind of know the conclusion and the eventual outcome. Does Mayor Bibb have a choice, I guess? Or does he have to take every necessary step to try and prevent the Browns from leaving, even if, like we knew 4 months ago, the eventual outcome here is a dome in Brook Park with what Jimmy Haslam wants?
I have no idea what Mayor Bibb's motives here are in the situation or how much pressure he's facing from his constituents. And I would say that there are some people that probably support his take to try and save the team. Well, whatever. Also, I think you're sort of playing off of the old emotions and nostalgia of the fans feeling like they're losing their team again. They're not losing the team, dude. They're moving 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got highways.
Yeah. Most of the people that are bitching don't even live in Cleveland.
It's one of them things where it's a political football at this point. Like I said before, if he wants to get reelected, if he wants to have aspirations to be a governor or a senator or different things like that, he has to answer to his own party. And his own political party is going to say, listen, how much of a fight did you put up? Or did you just roll over and let the other side just take the Browns and economics out of the city?
It's just funny how this whole thing has went from what it was to what it is now. Because remember, before the land was bought, it was, we ain't giving you no money. We ain't giving him we're not using taxpayers' dollars to fund it, or what is it, general funding for no stadium and all those things. Them drawings came out. He waited till they put the whole thing on the internet, and then he comes out and says, we're going to give you the parking lot fees. We're going to give you, 50% or something, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what happened? Like, pick one thing and stand on it. We ain't give you if we ain't give you no money, then what you thought he was gonna do?
Politicians.
What did you think he was gonna do?
You politicians standing on something.
You think you gonna tell a billionaire? Yeah, we ain't giving you no money. All right, bad.
That's the art of negotiation.
Yeah,
art of negotiation. I thought I was gonna do that. Psych, I lied. I got another offer from somewhere else that's better. Now, can you match this offer? That's the way the game works. And here's the thing: most Browns fans, and I think there's a little bit of this too, McNuggets, if we kind of look at it. I think what Mayor Bibb is doing is he's taking the temperature of this thing, which is a smart political move. He's taking the temperature, saying, "Man, y'all 3-something." The Deshaun Watson thing ain't looking kind of good right now. You ain't got a quarterback. People is up in arms. That stadium over there is empty. So what better time to drop this Modell Law thing to stir up that nostalgia, just like
that's what it is. It's just
like
it's just emotions and people that have been through it before, 25 years ago.
And then they're gonna say, well, listen, and you bad? You want to take the team out, and you're terrible. Nah, we don't like it. So it's a good political move on his part. I don't know if it'll work. But I just knowing politics and how things work and maneuvering and watching this stuff happen, this was inevitable because of the two different political factions. But when you Jimmy Haslam, let me just tell you people out there, when you're a billionaire, things tend to move. I mean, heck, Elon Musk just runs, I don't know, he runs Tesla and half the country. So when you got that bag, it's different. Ain't nobody telling him no.
No.
We got Mary Kay coming on in a sec, but interesting little tidbit that the Browns just announced. But they're placing Cedric Tillman on IR, which means he will miss his 6th straight games since suffering a concussion. I understand every concussion is different. We've seen Denzel Ward get a concussion, play next week. It's now 6 games in a row for Tillman, who will miss the season finale. Any long-term concerns with this? It feels like that's an exuberant amount of time for a guy with a concussion.
I think it's a bunch of injuries that's happening right now to sit him out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think that when you have a concussion on a 3-14 team, there's no risk. You don't risk at that for anything.
If you truly believe that Jameis Winston's shoulder is sore, you got another thing coming.
So
yeah, no, I think they're just protecting him. Yeah. I'm not like overly concerned about that. I'm concerned about concussions, but for sure.
I'm
but
interested.
6 weeks, no. I mean,
I think. Listen, this is funny, McDoug. It's funny.
I'm just asking the question. I don't. None of us know. I'm just asking the question.
Oh, we know.
We know.
Here's what happens. Somewhere along the lines, there was a mandate put out. Under no circumstances will we be winning any more of these games.
Duh.
Jameis Winston be getting too hot. Get him up out of here.
No, it was perfect. You threw 3 picks. Good.
Good. Because
out.
if he'd have came out here and threw for 400 again, I think they legitimately had a PowerPoint ready for Kevin Stefanski. Like, nah, this is not going to happen. We need to stay at 3 and keep creeping up that board.
You can't trust Jameis.
No,
because Jameis will go out there and get hot, and then we win this game, and now all of a sudden we done messed up.
And then praise you afterwards like you had the game plan. Like, hey man, thanks, coach had a great game plan. No, I told you to win the ball, Jameis.
You go out there. You think in the Cincinnati game, you truly think that DTR was the best chance to win the game?
No.
All right, so then this week it ain't been announced yet. I am just anticipating that Bailey Zappi starts this week because we got to make sure that we lock in this top 3 pick. So go ahead.
You think Bailey Zappi gives them a better chance to win than DTR?
Oh no,
that's
what
I'm
saying.
That's the chance to win.
That's my point.
We are
that's
saying
the point.
You think Zappi's going to be worse than DTR has been the last 2 weeks?
Oh, not worse, but it ain't. His first start.
DTR is playing perfect for them.
Well, maybe they do.
I'm not touching DTR. He's getting every throw. He's throwing the ball 60 times on Sunday.
I don't want. He a pro.
Let's put that.
I don't want the defense to see him 3 times. He might get lucky. I don't like that. Come on over here.
Don't you wish in the league like we could have like Major League Baseball rules on a game? We just intentionally walk this game.
Yeah,
we just give it to them.
I super sim. I've been
super sim. Yeah,
like super sim. Like, I'm gonna get to the
dynasty
offseason.
mode.
I'm trying to see these recruits real quick.
I don't think there's anybody in Northeast Ohio that actually wants to see this game on Sunday.
No.
If you gave 1 million Browns fans the options to super sim or watch, is there more than 5 who are choosing to watch?
I was about to say I'd watch because I have to.
Yeah,
take out your job out of the equation, Ty.
Yeah, then I wouldn't watch.
So yeah, I think Cedric Tillman's situation is, look, if I'm him, I'm not about to come back and get these headaches for this. Like, I don't know who the quarterback is, and you know what the propensity is for quarterbacks and receivers who ain't on the right page. I go over the middle. He hang me out to dry, and I got hit in the face. Nah, I'm cool. I'll see y'all next year when y'all figure out what y'all want to do. I'm cool on that. I'm straight. His agent was like, "Hey, I've seen enough, Dustin. They got enough tape. That one game he had."
Tillman had it.
He had a couple games.
He got a couple.
Hey,
Sean King says sometimes the worst thing that can happen is you actually get a shot to play,
and then you're exposed.
And then you're exposed. Like now, they could be like, "But said Tillman was balling."
I'll tell you one thing: Chase Daniels thrilled as hell. He never had to play. Mother sucker played like 15 years.
That was crazy.
He had to come in and just somebody went down.
All you gotta do is keep the thing afloat and do a good job in practice.
And like that's the best. Well, they don't have backup kickers, but that is probably the best position besides the long snapper.
Yeah, I mean, I would say third string's better because you definitely are not playing as a third string. But third string, there's more volatility in that job.
Yeah,
you
unless you get the I'm up next. I'm a quarterback slash quarterback coach slash offensive coordinator in waiting. So you just be like, I'm an extra assistant. So you go in, you're early, you set up all the little books on the table, you're running copies off, you're doing extra tape. You're basically a substitute teacher trying to be a graduate assistant, and then they'll just
happen to have a locker.
Yeah, got a locker.
With
They usher you right in there. Josh McCown.
We got Mary Kay on the line, so let's do a read and bring in Mary Kay. Guys, did Rocket Money help you find any subscriptions you forgot about or that you were paying for twice? It's definitely happened to me. I had a few subscriptions I didn't even realize I was still paying for, and Rocket Money made it so easy to track them all down. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your finances. For me, one of the best features is the subscription tracker. I've used it to cancel services I wasn't using anymore, and I've already saved a ton of money. Plus, with their goals feature, I've been able to automatically set aside money for the future. No more stressing about budgeting every month. Rocket Money has over 5 million users that have saved over $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon, rocketmoney.com/lockedon. And with that, let's welcome Mary Kay Cabot to the show. How you doing today, Mary Kay?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Doing good.
Happy holidays.
Man, are you surprised, Mary Kay, by all of the back and forth in that Mayor Bibb actually invoked the Modell Law? I guess whatever it's called. I'm not sure it's a law. It's just kind of like the stipulation. Are you kind of surprised that he went that far?
No, it seems like it was heading this way. The city's ready to put up a little bit of a fight and try to keep those Cleveland Browns downtown some way. I think that the Browns are probably a little bit surprised that it came to this. I don't think they really anticipated that it was going to be the battle and the fight that it has become. And it is unfortunate. I mean, we all lived through what happened with the Browns when they moved to Baltimore, and it's really unfortunate right now. This is happening because this should be an exciting time for the city, and it looks like it's going to be a legal entanglement. And you don't want the city and the Browns to end up at odds and to have all these hard feelings. And they are so committed to this Brook Park plan. They are not giving up on it. They are not budging off of that in any way, shape, or form. And who knows where this is all going to go.
This is a little off track. But when the Browns did leave, you were covering the team prior to that, correct?
Yes.
What did you do in the 4 years when the Browns left? Like, did you just hang out? Like, did you cover a different team? What did you do?
Well, that's a great question. I always like to say I wasn't very productive during those years, but I was reproductive during those years. I had my 3 children, or most of my 3 children during those years. I think 2 of them while the Browns were out of town, and then my 3rd one I had after the Browns were back. But I took 1 full year off with my son and spent that whole year with him, which was great. And then I took another bunch of time off when I had my daughter. So it really actually timed up perfectly. And, I kept busy doing other things because there was still news regarding what was happening with the Browns and when were they coming back and all those kinds of things. So there was enough to keep you busy. But I really built my family during those years.
That's awesome.
Good times. Mary Kay, let me ask you about the injuries. Obviously I seen that they put Cedric Tillman on IR with the concussion. You lost a ton of players this season. G. New, JOK, Cedric Tillman. I seen Denzel go out last game with like a shoulder injury. Are these injuries concerns for the future? Is any of those like something that you're worried about that can linger into maybe OTAs?
Well, first of all, let's start with Cedric Tillman's concussion. The fact that he had to miss 6 games with this concussion, I think that is something that you have to consider for next season because he was off to a great start. And if a guy gets into a concussion situation where they have to miss a bunch of games like that, you never know what's going to happen with the next one. Now, you've got a guy like Denzel Ward. He has had 6 concussions, but he never misses games with them. And everyone's different. You have to get back to your baseline and you've got the independent neurologist that is involved with this whole thing. So you never really know. But if he's the type of person that it's hard for him to clear the concussion protocol, they have to take that into account next season, because once you do have a concussion, I do believe that it's easier to get your next one. So that one, when I saw this today, I was thinking, that's something that they're really, really going to have to take into some serious account. I'm sure Denzel will be fine by next year. Shoulder injury, has to undergo some kind of a procedure. He should be fine for next season. I don't think too many of them are a concern for next season, except for maybe JOK, and we've talked about this before. It's a neck injury. It's hard to predict. It's not an exact science when you're trying to come back from a neck injury. You have to wait for either a nerve damage to heal or a bone to heal or something like that. We don't know the details of the injury. What we do know is that he is still, as Jason Tarver told us last week, traveling around, trying to figure things out, getting answers. And so he really is someone that I think that they're going to have to look to for next season and hope he can get back on the field healthy as soon as possible. That's what everyone hopes about JOK. He was off to a Pro Bowl season. He's a great player, and they might have to, find another linebacker in the event that it takes him a little time to get back on the field.
Mary Kay, this weekend, the Browns do have a game to play. I don't know that many people care much about the game, including maybe all of us. But
I care.
But we're gonna. You're on the payroll. Who's gonna play quarterback this week, Mary Kay?
It's a good question. We have Kevin Stefanski coming up at 11:45, and that's when we might get the answer to that. I'm guessing that we probably will. He'll probably tell us then, I would think. And I wrote a column after the game saying that they should go ahead and start Bailey Zappi. I think they've seen enough of what Dorian Thompson-Robinson can do for them this season. I don't know that it's prudent to put him out there against the Baltimore Ravens in a game where they are 18-point underdogs. They're not going into Baltimore to win this game. And sometimes a young quarterback's confidence can get shattered in a situation like that. He doesn't need that right now. They don't need that right now. See something else. Let another guy play, and let Dorian come back and see if he can't show the Browns some things again next season. And that's what I would do. I don't know if Kevin's going to do that, but that would be my strategy.
Mary Kay, over the weekend, Mike Vrabel's agreement with the Browns came to an end. He's now available to interview for any available head coaching vacancy. Can you give us a little insight and information on what Mike Vrabel did during his tenure in one short year with the Cleveland Browns?
He helped out with the draft. I know he was instrumental in helping them decide on a player like Mike Hall Jr., who looks like he's going to be a good player for them. You see him there racing Jameis Winston from drill to drill. He was very hands-on. He got very, very physical while he was out there working with the tight ends, working with the offensive linemen. He was fun to watch coach. I mean, he was really, really fun to watch coach, as you can see right there. I mean, he was just so active, so physical, so involved. He instilled, I think, a lot of toughness in these guys. He coached with a lot of tough love. I heard a lot of F-bombs flying around out there. As the season went along, he got more and more involved with the offensive line. He kind of went wherever he was needed, and they did need him on that offensive line. It was a tough year to come back from not having Bill Callahan, the Hall of Fame, basically, offensive line coach. So I think he made a huge impact on his hometown team, and I predict that when he gets his next head coaching job, that he's going to look back to this season very fondly and realize that it helped him stay involved, it helped him stay active, and then I think he probably learned a lot of things too. Mary
Kay, we Browns, they're going to end up with three wins. Right now, as we stand, they're the number 3 pick in the draft, and we didn't expect them to get a top 3 pick. Thank you for the Giants for doing what they did, going out there just messing it up for everybody, for themselves. But the great part about it is, those 3 wins are going to get us a top 3 pick. With that being said, there's a lot of holes on the roster. The quarterback room is shaky. I would say it's more than shaky. It's kind of bad. It's kind of trash. Like, low-key. If you have a top 3 pick and one of those quarterbacks are on the board, can the Cleveland Browns afford not to pull the trigger on a quarterback in this draft?
No, not at all. And I might even write a column about that today. No, there's no way that they can afford to do that. You have to take a quarterback. That's just my bottom line on that. And for me, that's just non-negotiable. It doesn't matter what else is there. You have to take a chance on a quarterback. Why? Because you don't anticipate picking this high again anytime soon. I think they want to get back to winning as soon as possible. And I would go out and find the best one of those quarterbacks, and I would draft him with whatever pick you have up there in the top 3.
If you're listening, Earl, go ahead and clip that. Get that boy ready for the internet.
Just out of curiosity, Mary, out of curiosity, have you seen the 2, Cam and Shador? Do you have one that you lean more towards?
No, I haven't had a chance to start studying those guys yet. I haven't really seen enough of them to say which one I would like, but now is when I will go into my due diligence on all of these guys and try to figure out which one I like the best. And again, my track record isn't horrible on this sort of thing. I identified Josh Allen as the quarterback that I would have taken in 2018. I was pretty vocal about that.
Yep.
I wrote about that. And, whenever I had a chance to talk to anybody in the organization, I would tell them the same thing, that was the guy that I thought they should take. Now, they did not listen to me. Okay. It wasn't the first time they haven't listened to me on these things, but, just kind of kidding around about that. But so I'm eager to dig in and do my due diligence. And it includes a lot of different things, not just a little bit of a lot of the film watching, but it's talking to a lot of people. I remember back then I talked to Josh Allen's position coach. I talked to his quarterback guru in Jordan Palmer. There's a lot of things. I talked to him at the Senior Bowl, got to know him a little bit, watched how he handled himself there as opposed to Baker, who I can't remember. I don't know if you remember, Dustin, but he didn't handle himself well at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Or maybe you saw it differently than I did.
Didn't he like leave early or arrive late or something, and then said his mom?
Yeah, he left at halftime.
I remember that. Yeah.
He left at halftime. He did not handle the media stuff well.
Yeah, no, he didn't. You're right.
He just didn't act like a pro, but Josh Allen sure did. And now Baker's come up off the mat, and he's really doing some great things. But so it's going to be interesting to see where this whole thing goes.
If you say that, then you might want Shador over Cam, then, because Cam left at halftime of his last game. Mary Kay, let me ask you this: what's one Browns player that you watched this season that you thought, hey, you know what? I'm excited to see him next season.
One that really does come to mind very quickly is Mike Hall Jr. He didn't play very much, right? Because he was suspended for the first 5 games, and then he suffered a knee injury. But when he did get in there, I thought he played very well and flashed that explosiveness that they were hoping to see from him. So he is someone that I think they can get excited about for next year.
Mary Kay, we appreciate your insight, and hopefully you give us the right pick at quarterback. I will give you credit for that. You were all over Josh Allen, and we missed on that. But hopefully we get it right this time. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Happy New Year, guys.
Same to you.
Same to you.
Mary Kay.
Mary Kay Cabot.
That was Mary Kay, our Hall of Famer, on the show weekly. And when we were setting up the interview for today, I texted her, and she was like, "Can I go a little earlier? Kevin Stefanski's talking at 11:45." And I was like, "Yeah, no worries. Not a ton to talk about." And she goes, "It's the Browns. There's always stuff to talk about. It's just not always good." The Cavs are giving us plenty of good things to talk about. We're going to get to them in 1 second. We mentioned this earlier. I'll mention it again. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, a live edition of the Ultimate Cavaliers Show. Jason Lloyd's still on his Caribbean cruise, so I'm bringing in some other friends to join me on the Ultimate Cavs Show. Tomorrow, we have a live 3 p.m. edition of the Ultimate Cavs Show coming to you guys tomorrow. No UCSS, but we have 2 live shows, Ultimate Cavs, Ultimate Buckeyes coming, so stay tuned for that starting at 3 o'clock. All right, talking about those Cavs. They beat the brakes off the Warriors again despite not playing their best game, and we'll talk about the win in a sec. They've now won 7 straight games by double digits. They haven't played a single-digit game in over 3 weeks, but there was a stat that came out of yesterday's game that I wanted to bring to your attention. Are you guys aware that since the Cavaliers acquired Donovan Mitchell, so this is 2.5 seasons now. Steve, take it full. When Dean Wade plays, they're 88-33. That's a 60-win pace during the regular season. When Dean Wade doesn't play, They're 39-36. It's a 43 win pace season. This year, when Dean Wade plays, they are 22-1. He is not by any means one of their best players. He's not in that top 4. He's a fringe starter, first guy off the bench, but his impact on winning, you can see by the numbers on the screen, are evident. Dustin, Tyvis, G, can you put your finger on why Dean Wade is such an X factor when it comes to the Cavs in terms of winning and losing basketball games?
He's that gritty player. He's that one player that when you watch tape and you're like, you know what, I want every player on the team to play like Dean Wade. Now, what I do like about Dean Wade, when they start him at the 3, I think that he does a great job because he's so tall. Like, it takes over the fact that you have the little guards, because now you got 3 guys. You know, that's, what is he, 6'10"? What is it,
6'9"?
Yeah, 6'9", 6. Yeah, you got 3 guys that's 6'9" or above on the court that helps the defense when a Darius or a Donovan gets beat, things like that. So I think that's it. But he also has that 3, so you got to respect him on that 3. But what I like about him the most is that he crashes the boards. I tell you what, we talked about Jalen Tyson, and I was like, I love Jalen Tyson, what he did in college, a guy that could score but also get boards. I guarantee you Dean Wade is just like his mentor. I guarantee you, like, they're trying to get him groomed up to be like a Dean Wade. Because, you know, like, he was brought up in the system. You know, he's not the star player. He's been developed through the Cavs and things like that. And I think that's why they love him. It's a guy that takes advantage of his opportunity. He goes out there. He might not be the flashiest guy, but when you need him to do what he needs to do, he's going to get it done. And that's kind of what you need. You need those bona fide role players that embrace the fact that they have a role and serve it.
I like the way, I mean, you said great things there. I mean, his height and his length are very important. The ability to shoot, obviously, is important in this offense. Like, almost everybody has to be able to shoot the 3 ball.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they can. This guy also plays good defense, you know. The 13 rebounds speak for themselves. Like, that's huge from a guy who can do multiple things. For whatever reason, he's the secret sauce, you know, when these guys, when he's on the court.
He's a glue guy.
Yeah, he's a glue guy. It's a good way to put it. You know, everyone else seems to play better when that dude's on the court. And certainly it's nice to have all the horses now as they're making this run. And, you know, it's kind of funny. I woke up this morning and I didn't stay up for that game last night, I'm going to be honest with you. And I wake up and check the scores. I didn't stay for the Lions game either. I went to bed for that.
Man, you went early. I was
at bed like 9:30 last night.
I made it to it was a shaky first quarter. They took off. What was that, the second quarter where they took off, where Donovan just hit like 4 threes in a row?
Yeah, first half was shaky, second half was dominant.
When I seen Donovan start taking off like that, I rolled over and went to sleep. I said, it's done. It's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched all that.
I mean, you held the Warriors
it was
under 100
Donovan had with straight heat check. I was like, it's like he can't give me the ball. It don't matter what, give me the ball. Cash. I was like, yeah, this dude on another one tonight.
To put it in perspective, when you put Dean Wade in a lineup, you go from, if Max Strus is starting, you know, if you put him in the lineup, you're dealing with 6'5". Dean Wade is 6'9".
Max Strus still gets me, man. I don't see it. We'll
get to Strus in a sec. G, finish your weight point.
6'9". Now your front court is 6'9", 7 foot. 6'11", 7 foot, either way. All depends on how big Jared Allen's afro is. But when you got a front line like that, and you got all 3 bigs that can move their feet, Dean Wade moves like a guard. You got Evan Mobley that can play on the perimeter. You can switch off anything. He's a good rebounder. So that gives your lineup a different type of punch, and the fact that he can knock down an open jumper is a beautiful thing. You don't have to run no plays for him, and he's a guy that's going to be able to switch off and play good plus minus defense. So that's why Dean Wade, aka the Vanilla Wolf, is balling right now. Now look, the first quarter, like you said, was a little shaky. I thought Golden State came out and they punched him in the mouth a little bit. But you know how a difference between a contender and a pretender is contenders always seem like if you up 20, it just seems like they're never quite.
That's how Golden State. That's how
it's
Golden
not
State
like a
was.
It ain't a real 20, and a legit
You go
20.
up, you go up 20 on Golden State back in the day. They cut it to 7
and you be like
15 seconds. You be like, what did
A
they go?
7-point lead wouldn't
Like,
last
what
a
are
minute.
you talking about?
3, 2 layup, a bucket, 2 free throws. We was just up 30. What's going on now? Nah, the way they came at them at that barrage in late second quarter, third quarter, it was ridiculous. It was like, look, I'm gonna tell you what. The Cavs right now, they might not be the greatest team ever, but and this is crazy for me to say this.
Oh my!
Duke and
Watch
New
it now. Watch it. Watch it.
I haven't seen very many teams play like this and have people demoralized.
Can I give you the numbers on that, G?
I mean, go ahead, man.
These are all absurd stats. They're incredible stats, and kind of give you some context to how good the Cavs have been over this last 7-game stretch. So since losing to Miami, they've won 7 games in a row. It's their third separate 7-game win streak of the season. So they've only played 32 games. They have 3 separate 7-game win streaks. Since the loss to Miami, the Cavs have played in 336 minutes of basketball. They've led for 267 of those minutes. 267 of 336. The Cavs have won each of their last 7 games by double digits. It's just the third time in team history they have won 7 games or more by double digits. The longest streak they've ever had was 9. Their average margin of victory during this 7-game win streak is damn near 18 points. They're not just beating teams, they're beating the living piss out of teams. And as soon as a team tries to respond, the Cavs have another way to answer. And the list of teams in the NBA right now that have the answers to what the Cavs can do to you offensively is shorter than 3. I think it's 2.
It's the
and
Hawks.
that's it.
The Hawks and the Celtics.
Are we going to start having a conversation about this team breaking records?
I think
What
we're
record are you-
very.
what
If
record
they
are you
win
talking
tonight,
I'm not saying it.
Dustin, if they
You know
win
what I'm
tonight,
talking about?
I know you ain't talking
Yeah.
about the one I think you're talking about.
the 73.
Yes.
So I asked that when they were 15-1,
No.
and I got scoffed at.
Yeah.
And now at 28-4,
We're
I do
approaching
think
the
we're
30
getting close.
wins.
How many games?
It's not
How many
happening.
games they need?
They're on a current. By the way, their win pace right now is 72. They're on pace to be right there.
That's
there.
That's my thought. Is like, man, if we get north of 40, and
Before another loss?
yeah.
Oh, well, and we
what-
get north
what-
of 40 before another
What's
loss.
their 40-5, 40-6?
You can talk me. You can talk me into
73-9 is the record, right? 73-9, 82.
Yeah.
That's Ohio
Yeah,
State
and
math.
as the NBA condenses its schedule and they start playing more games, they had that long break for the NBA Cup. The Cavs starters are playing 30 minutes a game. They're fresh and they're younger as opposed to some of the older teams. They're going to catch some schedule wins against teams with back-to-back. Dustin, I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy either. I think
It's
we'll
too
start having these
early.
conversations.
It's too early to have it.
Hey, listen, it's
too early.
Nah, not what I saw.
It's
It ain't
too early to have
like
it.
that. Early,
They gotta finish this West Coast trip for me.
hey, I bet you when people seen Jordan play like in '84, somebody was like, "It's too early to be doing that." But there was somebody be like, "Nah, he's Timothy right now. He's him right now."
You are the Duke of Niger.
But listen, what I did just to make sure I wasn't going crazy and my knees wasn't just doing stuff on their own. I went back after I watched the game. I watched the YouTube highlights of what the Bay Area and the Golden State announcers were saying, and these dudes the whole game. They were like,
You know
like,
what?
oh my gosh, this team is there's nothing
You
do.
know what?
This team,
Tonight is the one. They play the Lakers tonight, right?
They do.
If
And the Lakers have had 2 days off.
If they do the Lakers like they did Golden State,
And LeBron,
I'm telling you
On
right
New Year's
now,
Eve?
yeah.
I'm coming back on Thursday, and we can have that conversation. They're 1,000% might beat the record because I
Hold
know
on, you can't say they 1,000% might beat the record. Put your chest on it. They're gonna beat.
they
the
might
record or
beat
not?
the record. They might beat the record. Right now, I'm like 2% that they gonna beat the
Hey.
record. They win this game tonight by double digits. I'm telling you.
But they're
I'm
playing
telling-
they're playing that style.
Because LeBron, they just got a new toy with Dorian Finney-Smith, who's a bigger guy. So they got more size, which is Cavs kryptonite.
You don't have to worry about Dorian Finney-Smith being the
shooting
next kill.
I'm just saying he's shooting a career high of threes right now. He's a 3-and-D guy.
Did you if you watched that game?
I'm just saying.
Every single time.
LeBron ain't about to just sit there and let them just blow them out.
The Cavs is playing where they got this mojo and this extra seasoning sauce on air. Sam Merrill's hit. Every time they shoot a three, it's like it's going in.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I had this conversation this morning with my buddy Chris, who I play tennis with every day, and we're big Cleveland sports fans. And he made the point, he's like, this is they're the Warriors.
Yeah.
They're playing exactly like the Warriors. We may
I
not have
agree.
the names quite yet like they had, but like this team is playing, and they stole their scheme with Kenny.
Yeah, stole it.
And they're executing. Like the Warriors would still be playing like this if they had the players
if they had the personnel.
Yeah.
And like, I take a look. Ty Jerome came in the game, right?
And was
And
sparking
Ty
up.
Jerome was when you start getting your role guys talking trash to starters, you know you on one. Ty Jerome coming in like, oh, I'm hot. I'm going between the legs off the glass, do what I want. Darius, I knew it was going to be a long night for him when Darius Garland was like, and one. When Darius Garland started doing that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Bro.
Wait,
He's not very vocal.
He doesn't say anything. And one. Early?
Yes, he is.
Hey, let me tell you something, Darius. Let me talk to you real quick.
Yeah, come on, because if he
Hey,
finished,
don't step up now. Don't step up now.
Oh no, because I didn't sit it in the chat.
You should have made me apologize earlier.
I heard you right.
You should have.
You right.
That's your man. You should have been on me earlier. You let me slide. You let me slide.
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Hey, listen. Hey, Darius, listen, man. Maybe it was the weight, dog. I don't know, man. Maybe it was the weight. He was going through something. But I got to give it to you right now. You are Himothy right now. You are doing your thing. I mean, G. Bush, I was right on half of it. I said y'all needed to get rid of JB. But let me tell you something. I always say, when you get new information, don't be an idiot and double down. And guess what? I wasn't trying to double down earlier. I was just waiting to see, kind of. But if you keep playing like this, dog, you get into the rack. You Uncle Drew now? You Uncle your float game is back. The step back is there. Hey, dog. Listen, holla at your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? I see you, dog. G. Bush, I gotta go ahead and get that to you.
Thank you.
Right now, Darius Garland. And I got to say it with New York, Darius Garland is one of the best point guards in the league.
There we
and
go.
the backcourt tandem.
I appreciate that. You know, it made me. I had to sit here and deflect all last season about this. You know what? This is, honestly, right now, what he's doing is exactly what you thought Deshaun Watson was going to do.
Facts.
And I said, I am the Darius Garland to your Deshaun Watson. But I ain't even gloating.
He won that one.
Now, I will say, if he finishes in the 50, 40, 90 club, it's done. It's done. I don't want to hear nothing else. No slander from Darius Garland again. He finished 50, 40, and 90. Come on, man. There ain't too many people. There ain't too many guards out here that's doing that.
Oh, man.
I want to tie this kind of back to the Dean Wade thing real quick and tie it into Dustin's comments about the Warriors earlier. Part of the reason the Warriors were so successful was everyone knew exactly what they were expected to do on a nightly basis, and very infrequently did they deviate from their design roles, right? And when you go to look at Dean Wade's just a connector. He's a guy you can put in with almost any lineup, whether he's the 3, the 4, playing the backup 5. He makes the normal basic basketball play and doesn't get in everyone else's way that allows the Dariuses, the Donovans, the Karis LeVerts, the whoever else to make the plays that they're capable of making. How often do you see Dean Wade try and take a guy off a dribble, beat him one-on-one? Never. Why?
That's not his game. Yeah,
how often do you see Dean Wade post up not post up, but find his way to the corner and wait for the pass? Almost every possession. Why? Because that's what he's being asked to. He plays good defense. He's always in the right spot. His rebounding numbers from an advanced analytics standpoint are as good as almost anyone on the Cavs. The Cavs are a significantly better rebounding team when he's on the court than when he's not, regardless of who he's playing in the front court with. He just makes those little plays that don't necessarily show up in a box score that allows everyone else to flourish. And that's why I think he's the perfect guy when healthy, and that when's a giant factor because he misses way too many games, to be that starting 3 if everyone else is healthy, because he doesn't need the ball. He plays defense. He makes them a better rebounding team. He gives them some size, and he just does all the little things that lead to winning. Those numbers we started with, 88 and 33 when he plays since the Mitchell trade, 39 and 36 when he's out. To me, it's a no-brainer anymore, guys. If he's healthy, he's your 3.
I'm telling you, that's why Jalen Tyson is going to be him in like 4 years. Didn't Kenny Atkinson come from the Warriors?
Yeah.
He did. He was there the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. He took their whole philosophy and just applied it to the Cavs.
It's the holy grail. The Cavs got the holy grail of offense right now. They mix black ball and white ball at the same time. Let me explain. Donovan Mitchell be out here with these electric step backs.
He got a heat check.
He got electric step backs. I mean, he's stepping back all over the place. Darius Garland is giving him the shake and bake at the top of the key. Look, that's quick too. That's quick bang. Look, but then what makes it lethal is when you got the white dudes backdoor cutting people. That's demoralizing. It's almost like getting dunked on. If McNuggets is backdooring you, it's crazy. It's almost a highlight because you're just like, because he's wide open. You're like, who's man? Oh, layup. When you got both of them joints working at the same time, how do you stop that? And then you got Sam Merrill who comes off all screens, or Niang, or like, it's crazy.
And Sam Merrill comes to the game, looks like he just left choir practice.
Just left church.
Yeah.
And he looks like one of them televangelist choirs where they do rock songs at church.
Yeah.
And they do praise and worship for the whole 2 hours with a guitar. Yeah. This dude, Sam Merrill, comes in with that little crew cut and is killing y'all. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. But the way they did the Golden State Warriors and how I was listening to them talk about how the Cavs is just unreal and how, they look like they're a team that nobody can handle. And I said, they see Steph and Clay and Draymond. They talking about the Cavs like this.
Do you think that the Lakers, like tonight, are going to this game thinking the way we thought about the Warriors back in the day? When we had to face a team like the Warriors, as Cavs fans, we felt like we needed our best game to win that game.
Yeah, I think,
or to even really be in the game.
Yes,
Dustin,
yes,
1,000%.
Yes, I think
if Bron and AD ain't coming 25 to 30 apiece, they don't have a shot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Bron and AD do not give you those numbers, the Cavs will win this by 40.
And it's
probably.
And I'm usually never at a loss for words, but when you see teams that is 1 through 10 doing this, and you playing on the road, they act like in the second half they didn't even act like they cared that you was there.
The fact that they're doing this on a West Coast trip is because I told you historically, whether it was the Browns, the Guardians, or the Cavs, when we go to the West Coast for some odd reason we can't win. The fact that they 2-0 against some good teams, that's
and then look. And by the way, we are diminishing this. Jared Allen. When did you start getting freaky on these dunks?
That was maybe his best dunk of his career.
That was wild. I said, "Oh man, when did you get this package?" I mean, that was clean.
We got a Didi. We're gonna bring her in one sec, but I just want to make one last point to Dustin's comment of, do the Lakers feel like they have to play awesome? Their starting backcourt is Austin Reeves and Max Christie, and those two have to be tasked with slowing down and/or not outscoring, but keeping up with Darius and Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, the Lakers have to play a damn near perfect game to win. It's a terrible matchup for Lakers.
And guess what? Mobley only had 7 points last game.
Did.
Yeah.
What if he bought? See, that's
they're a well-oiled offensive machine that is damn near impossible to slow down. We're going to get a DD in here after a quick word from FanDuel. You can tackle all of the NFL action this year with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers who bet $5 can win $250 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to join today. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And with that, we welcome Aditi Kinkhabwala to the show. What's up, Aditi?
Hey there. How are you guys?
Aditi, are you a Cavs
Merry
fan?
Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Same to you.
Didi, you can be a Cavs fan if you want. I know they don't got no basketball teams in Pittsburgh, but you could join the Cavs bandwagon if you would like.
You know what's so funny about this? So I grew up a diehard Knicks fan, and my niece and nephew were just here for a week, and my nephew keeps wearing Air Jordan stuff. Like, everything he wears is Jordan brand. And I was trying to explain to him that his father and I grew up hating Michael Jordan because we loved the Knicks so much. Why does his dad let him wear all this Air Jordan stuff? Like, isn't that sort of a little weird?
Aditi, it's
The
just something
bigger. The brand's bigger than the.
it's just some things that you got to put your personal feelings to the side. I
mean, maybe, but like all the kid wears is Jordan brand.
I mean,
stuff.
listen.
Have you seen us?
Have you seen this?
I mean, unbelievable.
And 3 grown men should never put their legs up at the same time.
Yeah, 3 40-year-old men here putting our legs up.
Yeah.
Showing these shoes.
Didn't the Cavs have some bad history with the Bulls too?
Yeah.
Not as bad as the Knicks history.
Absolutely they did. Yeah. But it's Jordan. It's Michael Jordan.
I mean, I guess.
He literally has like the best shoes.
But I'm not jumping on the whole Cavs thing because I am a Knicks fan, and last year the Knicks did a lot to sort of pull me back in and get me excited, and that was a really fun playoff run. But you know what's so interesting about fandom? I was just talking about this the other day. So I grew up a major Giants fan. I grew up a massive Yankees fan. My dad took me to Yankee Stadium before I was even 2 years old. And I grew up a Knicks fan. And I don't really watch baseball anymore. When I first moved to Pittsburgh, the Pirates were kind of fun, but like, I'm not really into baseball. I think I could name one Yankee, maybe two. And obviously I don't really root for the Giants because now my job is to be impartial, so I root for people I like. But I still have the hatred for the rivals. So what I mean by that is like the Yankees don't incite this enormous passion in me, but the Red Sox, oh yeah, the Red Sox do. And the Giants, they don't incite that like huge, oh my God, I love the Giants. But the Cowboys, yeah, like that still lives. Isn't it weird that like the hatred still lives, but not necessarily the fandom?
You know what they say, hate is always a stronger emotion than love.
That's so sad. Well, that's sad. Is that a statement on me that I'm still harboring negative feelings?
Nah, that you might be a Scorpio. I don't know.
I'm a Sagittarius. Maybe
we be holding grudges.
Well, speaking of hatred, that's a great segue because we got to talk about because a lot of fans hate Baltimore, and that's who we playing this week. Who would you start at quarterback? Would you roll DTR out there for the third time, or would you see Bailey Zappi?
Wait, Aditi, before you go, Kevin Stefanski just said there's a chance both play.
I told you.
He literally just said there's a chance both play.
Mikey, you're the best for saving me right there.
Right, look.
Zappy time. Zappy New Year. Zappy New Year.
Zappy New Year.
Okay.
You know, I mean, at this point, you know what? There are so many guys in that locker room that have given so much. They deserve the team to do whatever they can to help them get a win and end the season on a win. So whoever the Browns feel gives them the best chance to win. And if that's a combination of two of them, if that's whatever it is, then I think they need to just throw everything in the kitchen sink out there, sell out to try to get a win. But now, of course, the Ravens are going to give this game everything that they can because they want to lock up the division. So I don't know. You know, Brian Callahan said this to us last week when we were talking about why they ultimately made the move from Will Levis to Mason Rudolph. And he said at some point, the development of one player can't cost every other player the opportunity to win. And so we've said you need to know what you have in DTR. You need to see what you have in DTR. I've said that he's not been put in the greatest position to succeed, that 1 or 2 games isn't enough. But at this point, it's the end of the season. I mean, Joel Bitonio deserves a win. Myles Garrett deserves a win. So I think that you need to do whatever you can to try to win that game.
Aditi, you know good and well. They sitting with the 3rd pick in the draft. You and I both know he is not winning this.
Look at her face.
You think they about to go out and jeopardize a top 3 pick?
You remember when Lovie Smith? So it was 2 years ago. Was it last season or was it 2 seasons ago? I think it was 2 seasons ago, the Texans were playing the Colts.
Oh, Lovie Smith said bleep it.
Yes.
Yeah, Lovie Smith said, I could care less about the number one pick.
He's out the door. So he goes for the 2-point conversion. The Texans win.
It landed on C.J. Stroud. What?
Yeah. But not that Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are moving on. Obviously, it's their future. But I don't, you know what? I've never, ever met a player or met a coach who's willing to say, we tanked for a pick.
No.
Or that would want to do that for their players.
They don't come out and say that.
They
That's
just
what.
this
is how they.
We're gonna get some young guys.
Yeah, we got to get the young guys in there and see what we got. That's how it rolls.
Give us some young guys some
Let's
opportunity.
get the young guys in there.
Yeah. How important is
So
this game?
guys, I'm stressed out.
Guys.
Can I wait? So can I pick your brains a little bit, because I have some massive stress here, and I think that I talked to you about this. I'm an All-Pro voter, and I'm an NFL awards voter, and when I tell you that I am taking this so seriously, and I am struggling massively with a few of these things.
It's the quarterback,
isn't it? I
isn't
think the smartest way. Well, like the quarterback thing a little bit, the MVP thing a little bit, but the defensive player of the year. Like, this one is really stressing me out. And obviously, when you make votes like this, you have to throw all your biases out. I have to not worry about what my son is telling me about his favorite quarterback, or my husband telling me about his favorite pass rusher. But I literally made Doug Peterson talk to me for like 10 minutes about a cornerback versus a pass rusher. And if a corner shuts down half of a field, how does that compare to a pass rusher who gets to rush the passer on every play? But I'm really having this TJ Miles issue, which I feel like I have had the last few years. And I'll lay it out for you this way. Miles has a much greater get-home rate. He has a much greater pressure rate. Miles, more people that I talk to say, is a bigger load to deal with, because one-on-one, or in general, even when he's doubled, he has more moves to win. Miles is more of a freak, but TJ has those 6 forced fumbles and seems to come up. And I'm saying seems because I haven't actually checked this year. In the past, it was very obvious to me. 2 years ago, it was very obvious to me. But TJ in general seems to come up with the big play when you need the big play. TJ seems to force the fumble, or get the strip sack, or create the pressure that leads to an incompletion or an interception in that money moment. So I don't really know when neither of them has kind of run away with it. And for a while I was thinking about Pat Surtain, but now I've sort of decided, okay, it's really a pass rusher. And another piece of this for me is that
I'm hurt that you said that. I'm hurt. Me and Dustin is hurt deeply.
We got 2 DBs on the panel.
But
I'd be very interested in hearing that. Like,
I was straight up going to say, go PS2.
Okay, but here's the thing. So, like, if you're an offensive coordinator, you can't throw to half the field. I mean, and the truth is Pat doesn't have crazy stats, but that's because nobody throws at him. And he's got 4 picks because when somebody does throw to his half of the field, he does come up with a play. But like Doug Peterson was saying, you have to account for TJ Watt and Myles Garrett on every single play. You have to know where they are constantly. They can wreck your game in a way that Pat doesn't necessarily wreck the game.
That's very true.
But now here's another piece of all of this, right? I think TJ plays with a better defense. I think that Cam Hayward demands attention, and that Alex Highsmith demands attention in a way that nobody that's playing with Miles really demands attention. So is TJ making the guys around him better? And that's why we talk about Cam and Alex that way. Or is Miles doing more with less around him? Like when we talk about MVP, everybody keeps telling me, well, Josh Allen is doing a heck of a lot more with less than Lamar is doing with less. So if Josh Allen is being credited for doing more with less, why are you giving me fireworks? Am I talking in circles? Help me!
That wasn't us. That was literally on you. That's not us.
What do you mean? I made fireworks?
I swear to goodness, Aditi, we did not do that. Director Steve has magical abilities with VMix. That was on your end, not our end.
You must have either said something or did something, a gesture to make it.
I'm telling
you better.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So
I mean, what? Aditi,
I discussed a lot of information. Dustin, what do I do?
It sounds like this. It sounds like the same dilemma that everybody's been in for the past 5 years.
I can just get us to move on. We can just move on.
I'll say this. Here's the thing. Myles Garrett, you could literally vote for Myles Garrett, the best defensive player, and give him the defensive player of the year every single year. However, it all depends on how you account for team sports. Like, obviously, the Steelers have had a better year than the Browns. Obviously, Denver has had a bigger year than the Browns. I would put Pat Surtain over Myles Garrett just because.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Why? I would.
You a D lineman. No, you wouldn't.
No, because here's the thing. They got a rookie quarterback, right?
Yeah.
That defense has to play well for them to stay in certain games. So for me, I got to give a nod to a team.
That's a good point.
I got to give a nod to a person who got their team there. We 3-something, and Myles is great, and we can give him an award every year. But I think
all three teams, maybe outside of Pittsburgh, all other two struggle with quarterback play too. Well, Browns struggle and Broncos.
I mean,
Broncos obviously hit on both.
It's very
nicks.
difficult to win individual awards on a team that won 3 games. And Myles Garrett will probably tell you, yeah, last year I deserved it. I was loving it. We carried the Browns offense. This year I don't think he would say that.
No, right. I think that's fair. And you got to remember though, every morning she wakes up to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette on her front porch. So she's got all those yinzers in her ear with TJ Watt.
I can't. You know, that's a part of it too, Dustin. Right?
I know.
Like if the votes are ever revealed, I mean, could I ever show my face in this town again? Although that's not supposed to influence my vote.
Did they show who people voted for? I don't know the rules on that.
No, I think that there can be a question. Like if someone is not anonymous and people ask who's the one person that didn't vote, then I think that that's allowed to get out there. But in general, you're not supposed to reveal your ballot until the awards are actually out there.
The okay, so question I have for you.
I used to vote for the Heisman. You vote for the Heisman, right, Dustin?
Must be nice.
Still.
I do. All right,
I'm not a media member, so I'll never do it.
Don't worry about this guy. All right. Browns. They say they're not making changes. They've said this every year, blah, blah, blah. Do you believe them this time? Like Stefanski?
You mean front office and head coach?
Yeah.
I do, because I talked to Mr. Haslam before the game in Cincinnati, and I believe him when he said that he thinks that they have the right people in place, but I think there absolutely has to be some changes to Kevin Stefanski's staff. And I would say that there's a very strong argument to allowing Kevin Stefanski to go back to calling the plays, if that's the right answer. And obviously, you need to solve the quarterback problem. This is not Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time coach of the year, didn't forget how to coach. But I think that he was extremely hamstrung this year by having his entire offensive staff ripped up. And the quarterback thing. I don't know how to solve it. I wish I had an answer for you.
What do you make of the quarterback thing?
I'm not.
What do you make of it, though? Like, I mean, is this just kick the can down the road? We're going to keep him on the roster for the next 2 years? And then evaluate the situation, and then kick the can. I mean, what do they do? What are we doing?
Do they draft Cam?
What can they do?
Well, you can draft the quarterback. Do you think they should draft one?
Cam or Shador?
I mean, you can, yeah, because you need a solution, clearly, okay? Yeah. Deshaun Watson has had 3 years at this point. He's had 3 seasons. Now, granted, that first year, there were all these excuses. Oh, he'd had a year off, and then he was suspended for all this time, so he was a little bit rusty. Okay, fine. Then last year, what was the excuse? There was no excuse, and then he got hurt. And then this year, it was, we've augmented the offense to really be even better for him, and still, we didn't see anything. So at this point, there are no more excuses. You've had 3 years to show that you are a top 5 quarterback in the league. It hasn't happened. Okay, fine. So now you've committed all this money to the quarterback position. You can't possibly go and chase a Sam Darnold for $50 million a year. So your only solution is to get a cheap quarterback. It has to be like Russell Wilson in Denver, where, you've allocated all this money to Russell Wilson, but your quarterback, Bo Nix, isn't costing you anything right now. It's like Atlanta, who's moving on from Kirk Cousins. Yeah, you've allocated all of this money to Kirk Cousins, but Michael Penix is not going to cost you anything. So if the piece of the pie for quarterback is this big, The only way a quarterback fits in this piece when you're already paying so much of that piece to another quarterback is if he's a rookie.
You got a guy.
But,
go ahead. No, you got it.
No, I'm just saying, but like you have to be sure that you got it right? Because how many times have you screwed this up?
So this is a perfect segue because, one of my contingency plans and one of the plans of a guy who is not a rookie quarterback just so happens to be in your backyard. Hey, listen, Justin Fields.
Go Bucks.
I mean,
Buckeyes.
Would you, because I'm thinking about it.
You always got to say today.
But Dustin said this like 2 days ago. He said, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm posted up in Pittsburgh. I'm signing a nice little deal. He said, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm signing a deal to go back to Pittsburgh and wait Russell Wilson out and stay with that infrastructure they got. I wouldn't necessarily move. For me, do you believe that the Browns should take a look at Justin Fields? And what's your intuition on whether or not he will, leave Pittsburgh and try to go somewhere else and become a starter again?
So the Browns should look at any and everything that they possibly can. So of course the Browns should take a look at Justin Fields and should have conversations and see if that's a solution. I don't know about Justin Fields. I don't, Russell Wilson has done a really, really good job this year of not playing how he has the last few years and playing instead exactly how Arthur Smith wants him to play. But the Steelers are on a 3-game losing streak, and we'll see what they do against the Bengals here. I don't know. Is Russell Wilson, has he turned a corner and does he have a lot of years left in, or has he kind of turned into a pumpkin here? We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I know that Justin Fields was really, really enjoying the stability here, enjoying the coaching here, enjoying the infrastructure, to use your word, the locker room, all of that. But I was told that he was really devastated when Russell was given the chance to start, and he had felt like he had played by the rules. He hadn't tried to do too much. He hadn't gone for splash. He had done exactly what was asked for him, but it wasn't enough to hold on to the starting spot. That was difficult. I think that Justin believes he can be a starter in the league. The question is, will he be given, if both Russ and Justin are back, is he given a chance to beat Russ out? Does he have to be Russ's backup? Is he okay being a part-time player, a gadget player? Does he see that long game of, at some point Russell's going to get old or injured, or even if they give him the starting spot, I still believe I can beat him out? I don't know. I don't know what that answer is. Or does he sit here and say, hey, if there's an opportunity to go start somewhere else, I'm going to go start somewhere else? It's interesting, I'll tell you this, that Doug Peterson was talking to us this past week about Mac Jones, and Mac Jones had said to us, after leaving New England and coming to Jacksonville, he found the fun in the game again. He refound the joy in the game, and he found how to be himself and how much he's really enjoyed the coaching from Doug Peterson. And Doug was saying he hopes that Mac gives it another year in Jacksonville, another year of getting better, another year of getting comfortable in a good offense and a good infrastructure. And that will put him in better position to be like a Geno Smith or a Sam Darnold or even a Baker and get another life. But sometimes you only need that 1 year of rehab, kind of, which is what Sam Darnold had in San Francisco. Sometimes you work incredibly hard in a good organization with good coaching, you take as much as you can, and then you can parlay it in your next stop. So I don't know that there's a one-size-fits-all answer here. And I can't tell you, honestly, I'm sorry, G, which way Justin Fields is going to lean. I think a lot of it has to do with what are the opportunities that are out there.
Aditi, do you stay up for the ball to drop?
Do I look like a person who has the energy to do that right now? I was passed out on my couch. I know it's so funny. I think that for the last couple of years, I don't even remember New Year's Eve last year. I might have been on the road New Year's Eve last year. I don't know. But I know that there were 2 years in a row where I tried to stay up with my husband. I was like, we can't go anywhere. We had the kids. We weren't getting a babysitter. And I literally passed out on the couch and woke up. Somehow my body woke me up at like 11:56 to be like, okay, Happy New Year, smooch, smooch, back to bed. So I've just had 6 house guests since Wednesday. They just left. I am in the middle of doing approximately 8 loads of laundry. I don't know that I will stay up. Do you? I used to call New Year's Eve amateur night. I used to like to have a party at my house and do game night. So I don't know. What about you guys?
Well,
what are you doing?
I'm 30 years old, but I've been 60 in my mind since I was about 16 years old. So there you go.
Well, I gotta tell you, my 70-year-old parents, they stay up for New Year's Eve, and they have parties. They go live the life.
It's not happening. I'm getting into bed at 10 o'clock. I will be asleep by 11, guaranteed.
You know what you can do, Tyvis, though? You can, like, do the ball drop in Paris or London. And like have your champagne. Watch it on the internet. Have your champagne.
The problem is I got my Welch's already ready to go, but the problem is my father-in-law is a New Year's Day baby. So they're celebrating his birthday. So my wife and kids won't even be there. I'll be by myself. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the best rest I ever.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So they go to grandpa's house and you stay home by yourself?
Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow, so you know.
That's
your excuse?
That's a great out.
I gotta work, and I gotta work early in the morning, and I gotta get up and work out before I go to work. So like, yeah, you know, I can't.
I got a flight in the morning.
And your father-in law's cool with that? He buys that?
Yeah.
Dustin, you got a flight?
Yeah, I'm going to the Bahamas in the morning, so I'm out.
Wow.
Listen, I forgot.
That sounds good.
We got the Bahamas Bowl on Saturday.
Dustin, did you do that crazy pit game? Are you the one that did the 8 overtime game?
I called it.
Okay, was it like insanity?
I can't believe Narduzzi has a job still.
Because he had so many chances to win the game and didn't?
Yeah. Well, you didn't. Did you see the situation? Or no?
No,
well, I won't bore you with the details, but it was one of the more befuddling decisions I've ever seen a coach make in the history of sports.
Wait, Can you tell me what happened?
Bottom of the second overtime, they're down 3. Second overtime. You know the college rules in overtime? How they change?
I don't.
They turn into 2-point conversions after the second overtime.
It's really stupid. I'll just tell you that much.
Okay,
so after the second overtime, you go to the third overtime. It's 2-point conversions, alternating, right? Until somebody doesn't stop. So they have the ball, 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line at the bottom of the second overtime, which means if they score a touchdown, the game is over. So 3rd and goal at the 1. So they have their tight end come in as a wildcat. They throw a pass to a backup defensive lineman. He drops it. So it's 4th and goal at the 1. At the 1-yard line. Now keep in mind, you're at the 1-yard line. You just got to go. You quarterback sneak, whatever you want to do.
Push.
Whatever game's over. Okay. Instead, he decides to bring out the field goal unit to tie the game.
At a meaningless bowl game.
No, but what makes this worse is the fact that literally you kick the field goal, then the next play, they move the ball back to the 3, and you have to score. And if you happen to make that, then you have to go on defense and stop them, as opposed to going from the 1-yard line and winning the game. Makes no sense. He gave themselves a worse opportunity.
That's terrible.
By kicking the field goal. I don't know. So anyway,
he didn't believe in this.
Just Google situation. Yeah,
he didn't believe in it.
Sorry, I apologize. I've been busy. I
didn't expect you to see it.
I
live in Pittsburgh. I assume people in Pittsburgh are
I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my husband is a Pitt grad, and he did take my kids to every single home game this season. So, and I do.
Does he a Narduzzi fan?
You know what? I've never really had that conversation with him. Yeah, probably I should
plead the fifth.
How do you have the conversation? Everyone in Ohio is like, "Are you a Ryan Day fan?"
Plead the fifth.
Yeah, I don't know, dog.
Right. You know, it's really interesting, the conversations that I don't have with my husband, where like people are like, how does he feel about this? And I say, I think it started very early in our relationships when I would tell him the truth about things in the Steelers locker room. And he was just like, you know what, you're ruining it for me. So like, let's not talk about it. Whereas like everybody else wants to know, like, what's this guy really like? Or how do these people actually behave? And my husband just like, no.
Yeah.
But I guess if you like want to root for laundry, then the less you know, the better off you are.
There it is, Aditi. Drink a shot for me.
Get you some Welch's.
Get you drink a shot tequila.
No, get you some Welch's so you can get up in the morning.
Whatever's in your wheelhouse, a mimosa. I don't know what you drink, but have a good time.
I am a champagne drinker. To be perfectly honest, I do like bubbles, but Just like Tyvus is saying, maybe I should stop.
I'm gonna have. Listen, I'm not gonna even wait till the ball drop. I'm gonna drink it so I can have it before I go to bed. I'm gonna cut the whole because I'm by myself. I ain't sharing it with the kids, so I'm tipping the whole bottle, drinking, and I'm going to bed.
Sounds pretty darn good.
It's gonna be a great night.
All right, we'll talk to you
Thanks,
next week.
Aditi. Happy New Year.
All right,
We'll
guys.
see you in
Happy
2025.
New Year.
Same to you.
Peace.
See you.
That was Aditi Kinkabah. We're going to get to our next topic today. It's brought to us by Rocket Money. Did Rocket Money ever help you find subscriptions you forgot about or that you were paying for twice? It's definitely happened to me. I've had a few subscriptions I didn't even know I was still paying for, and then Rocket Money made it so easy to track them all down. It's like having a personal assistant for your finances. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lowering your bills so you can grow your savings. It brings everything together in one place. Whether it's subscriptions, your spending habits, or even goals you want to hit in 2025, Rocket Money has over 5 million users, has saved over 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That is rocketmoney.com/lockedon or rocketmoney.com/lockedon. We had Mary Kay on a little earlier, and she mentioned what Mike Vrabel did during his 1 year with the Browns. And there was a report from Mary Kay over the weekend that if Mike Vrabel were to get a head coaching gig in this next cycle, he may be interested in taking some of the assistant coaches he worked with in Cleveland along with him to the next stop, according to Mary Kay in her article on Cleveland.com. A couple of names she mentioned, Tommy Rees, who is the Browns' passing game coordinator, and Bubba Ventrone, who played with Vrabel in New England, would be two candidates to potentially follow Mike Vrabel to his new gig. I wanted to ask you guys real quick, would you have any opposition to Vrabel taking any assistant on this current Brown staff?
I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Why would you do that?
I'm cool.
To anybody on the staff?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
No. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. You're lying.
It's all good.
There's
boy.
one coach there. He probably will try to take that. I wouldn't let them take.
Who's that?
The DB coach. I wouldn't let them take that. That dude's good. The DB coach is really. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the DB coach. I think he got like a D coordinator look last year. Like somebody tried to interview him. I wouldn't let him leave. But the rest of them,
Brandon Lynch.
that's his name. Yeah, I wouldn't let him.
Is he
leave.
one of those proverbial thought of well around the league guys?
I wouldn't let him leave. I'm just telling you. That's outside of him.
Is that your man?
No, I've never even talked to the guy. I've never met the guy. I've never talked to the guy. I respect him. I've watched him work, and I respect what he's done. I respect how he communicates to his players.
Do you like the results?
Yeah, the DBs play well. One of them. One of them.
You got Denzel.
That's what I'm saying.
You got Denzel.
Listen, if the whole secondary was Buckeyes, I wouldn't have this issue.
I mean, you'd look like this guy too if you coached a player like Denzel.
Yeah, G. New.
Emerson was solid.
Good players
this
make
year.
good coaches. Trust me.
G. New was solid this year.
G. New was solid.
He was solid.
I tell you,
was he not solid?
When you get to the end of the season,
was G. New not solid?
I love that. The post be moving, Dustin.
Was G. New not solid this year? What's his stats?
Okay, here's the dilemma with New Year. His stats don't look good. He had 24 tackles, 27 total, one interception.
What's the PFF grade?
What's that coverage?
They're dead to me.
What's that coverage grade?
It's solid.
Hey.
He ain't saying he was like the best thing since sliced bread. It was decent, solid. I don't recall a moment where I'm like, oh yes, I do. One time.
According to PFF this year, not great for your boy Ty. He had a 52.2 overall grade.
Is that the worst out of the secondary?
It was 175th out of 219. And his coverage grade was a 54, which is 159th out of 214.
Okay, so he was mediocre. he was mediocre.
I can't breathe.
He was mediocre. He did that.
That's the perfect picture too.
Yeah, boy, got you. Yeah, he was.
Dude. When I see Greg Newsome, you know what he's really good at?
Got you.
You know what he's really good at, Greg Newsome? Come on, let's go. Get everybody. Let's go to the end zone. Y'all
sick, man.
There's a flag.
Y'all sick. The only time that I was disappointed in G-New was the Eagles game where he let that drag go for a touchdown and he just gave up on the play. Like that was outside of that. I really didn't notice him. I really didn't notice him. He was that bad this year. That's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
That's kind of crazy.
That's wild work, Tyvus. And he wants the DB coach to stay.
I do want the DB coach to stay. I do respect his coaching ability.
Can we get some Martin Emerson? Can we pull up Martin Emerson while we on a roll? While we just looking up the.
I like how y'all just gonna blame it. Like
I'm just trying to get some clarity.
Martin Emerson this year.
Trying to get some clarity on whether or not.
You mean? He had a 49 overall grade. That was 188.
Make sure we don't lose
188, coach. 188 out of what?
His coverage grade was a 50.1, 178 out of 219.
We're picking on Tyvus now.
Y'all sick. Y'all sick. Y'all sick because last year y'all was praising all of these players.
Hey, it's a year-to-year league.
That is true.
It's a year league, bro. It's year to year. You know that.
So you can't bounce back 1 year
Well,
later?
hold on, real quick. I want to defend Tyvus.
Hey, you gonna save him? You gonna save him?
No,
It ain't no saving me. This dude is a good coach. I don't understand what the
We all
problem
think
is.
Denzel Ward's had a tremendous season, right?
I wouldn't say tremendous.
I think Denzel Ward's played very good this year.
You out of
I
line.
wouldn't say tremendous.
You out of line.
I mean, he's a legacy.
He leads the league in pass breakups.
I mean, tremendous is like okay.
He's a chance to be an All-Pro. That's
okay.
Are you
pretty
serious right now?
Tremendous.
According to PFF.
All right, well, here we go. Look at the numbers.
He had a 68.4 grade,
They are dead
which was
to me.
61st out of 219, and his coverage grade was a 68.9, which is 53rd. Ain't no way in hell there's 52 corners better than Denzel.
But I'm just saying, like
they're dead to me. I don't know why y'all even put credibility
That's
in
more
this.
aligned. Listen,
No,
it's
it ain't.
more aligned.
No, it's not.
If you say he had a good year, I say yeah, he had a good year. Tremendous is that's a step up.
He led the league in pass breakups, meaning every time they went at him, he broke the pass up. They stopped going at him.
I mean, listen, man.
What more you want from the corner?
Hey, I'm not on Denzel Ward. I never said nothing bad about the man.
You said that
I said he had a good year. But the other two? No.
What about Dale Pitt?
I just want the Browns defensive grade.
Yeah. Give me them second.
Give me 1 second.
Give me that coverage.
Let's get the secondary together. I see, Dustin. I expected.
Earl said he about to come down here and check you. You keep talking about MJ.
Hey, your fellow DB didn't even come to your aid. Dustin was like.
To be fair, I just let it go.
You just let it ride.
Yeah, only because I don't really know.
Is it? Let me ask you this: is it the X's and the O's, or is it the Johns and the Joes?
Could be a little bit of both.
All right,
because Martin Emerson is not fast.
Well, obviously last year
that's part of his
year they had both. They decided to run back the same team.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me it ain't like nothing changed? They're still running the same concepts, the same scheme defensively.
That tape is out there.
So it ain't the X's and the O's this time.
If the tape is out there and they know what you do and what you don't do well.
I didn't say this man was the D coordinator.
No, I'm not calling for him. I
got your grades, G.
I mean, I'm just giving you what the.
I'm just saying, like you saying that it's the scheme, but like
I'm just giving.
That's not the DB coach's fault. He ain't. That's Jim calling the plays. All he can do is coach technique.
I just want to let me see what they talking about.
These are some of the other coverage grades.
Let me see the coverage grades, man.
Ronnie Hickman had the highest coverage grade.
Go Bucks. You know how we do.
Hold on.
Look. I told you about that. I told you he was on his way down here.
Hey, he came down there. Listen, you better stop playing around with me. I will call security. There's an African American man with dreads and a hoodie on, and he's threatening us.
I'm just saying.
And he's threatening us. Get him out of here.
I'm just saying.
Hey, listen, all you need.
They had one down year, man.
All you lucky I didn't tell Dustin to say something. All Dustin had to say is I'm fearful. All of us going to jail.
It's a man I've called security.
Hey, listen, I was fearful for my life.
So back to go speak on that great Buckeye.
Back to the grades.
What about that
Ronnie
Buckeye?
Hickman had a 72.2 coverage grade this year. That was 10th out of 96 safeties.
So Juan Thornhill's gone.
Denzel Ward's coverage grade, we mentioned, is 68.9. That was 41st out of 117 qualified defensive backs.
Okay.
Grant Delpit A 63.3 coverage grade. That's 42 out of 96.
That ain't terrible. Denzel was 41. He's 42. Is that what you?
No, different positions.
Oh,
Denzel 41 out of
excuse
cornerbacks. Delpit 42 out of safeties.
Okay,
Juan Thornhill though was 43 out of safeties. So those two almost back to back in terms of safety grades.
And
Cam
Ronnie
Mitchell
Hickman was better than both of them.
in coverage grade according to PFF. Correct.
No kidding.
And then if you go down, not a banner year for Mitchell, Newsome, or Emerson Jr., who all graded incredibly low.
And Mitchell, who was, we got Mitchell. We about to have him for G New. He about to be that nigga.
Oh no.
Hey, what does Mitchell talk about?
Me and Jason told y'all pump the brakes on that last year.
What he talk about? Look at his grades out there.
Cam Mitchell?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna save him.
He tucked the man's grades in, Dustin.
Look, that's that when that teacher fold that paper over and hand it to you. Fold the paper. Hey, you that paper folded over.
If you really want to know, G.
Go ahead, bro.
I mean,
he had a 52 overall grade.
And it's
where's that rank?
85th out of 117.
Listen. This is the thing. Like, they can't be mad at us. Like, don't be mad at us. Be mad at what you put on the tape.
Yeah,
like,
man. As we talked about the coaching,
it ain't taking no personal shots at none of these players or anything like that. Like, if you can't be mad at us. You got to be mad at the tape.
Hey, the tape, the 3 wins, and here's my thing: if they want to take Bubba, hey,
they might assist him out the door.
I wish y'all the best luck.
So, anyone you would say, other than the DB coach, G, Dustin, anyone you'd be like, nah, that this guy's untouchable, or this girl is untouchable?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really pulling straws here. I'm trying to think of.
You trying hard too.
I am.
You can't say anybody's like the team's gonna have 3 wins at the end of the year, so it's really difficult to say that we did anything exceptional.
Ever. Like, we didn't win at anything. We didn't.
I would say take anybody.
That is sad. That
and you're optimistic.
I know. I'm really.
And look,
not the Deuce Staley. I didn't see it from the running backs. Chad O'Shea from the receivers. We've been talking about that for a while. The offensive line was not great. Mike Vrabel, was working with it. We just found out he was the offensive line coach. It's just I don't know what Andy.
Better on the offensive line.
I don't know what Andy Dickerson was doing, stealing money. But
it's rough, man.
On the D line, I mean, Mike Hall and Isaiah McGuire did some things. They did some things, so they developed them a little bit.
Yeah.
Jacques Cesar was the defensive line coach this year.
Okay.
Jacques Cesar. They signed him from Houston.
This is his first year?
His first year.
They made a lot of staff changes. I don't know why they did this. They did a lot of staff changes.
Man, they must have got him off.
Just blew up.
Who's
the linebackers was?
Cesar?
Linebackers coach is Jason Tarver.
Who?
How do I know that?
Why do I know that name?
Because he gave us the JOK quote last week that he still travels around with the.
Was he? No, it was. I think it was a special teams coordinator that used to be here. Last name was Tarver.
Only Tarver I know is Antonio.
I don't even know who that is.
The boxer?
Is that the dude who beat Roy Jones?
Yeah.
He told him, "What excuse you got tonight, Roy?" And then went on to knock him out in the second round.
By the way,
Tarver we're thinking of.
I know this dude. Yeah, I know this guy. Why do I know him? Where did I cross paths with this guy?
Did you steal his girl at some point?
Dang.
No.
Were you in San Fran?
I was in San
Maybe
Fran.
he was there.
Was he in San Fran with me?
Look at the picture.
Yeah, that's why I know him, San Francisco. Okay. I want to say I know that guy. Yeah. I was like, I know that name.
Yeah, and McNuggets, by the way, you just mentioned something that was kind of crazy.
Linebacker coach.
The fact nobody can be very comfortable with the fact that JOK is getting random traveling, like, second opinions.
It's a legitimate concern for next year.
Like that,
legitimate concern.
Like the fact that he's not even in the building and he's not being seen by no. I mean, think about this. If you got to go travel to get a second opinion and you in the medical capital of the world, and you got UH and Cleveland Clinic here,
right?
That's crazy. Like,
I tell you what,
that just says like he's trying to get an opinion. Like, hey, I think he's really worried about his career.
Yeah, it's a neck injury. I told you the one thing about them neck injuries is even the doctors got to be. They got to be the ones that's like, I'm willing to put my license on the line to clear him to go out there. Because if he gets hurt again, he becomes a paraplegic. They taking your license.
Shout out to, here's how you know neck injury people. Shout out to Dr. Aliyah Hadib. She did my neck surgery on my C3 and C4. Tremendous job. Listen, hey, you know them people when they give you the surgery. You necks do not play. You have to be able to say, I'm willing to put my future on the line that this guy can go out there and play football and be fine. Right.
Because if you don't and he becomes a paraplegic, one, the NFL is they're gonna sue you.
I'm not signing off on that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I told you, Cam and Cliff, when I played with Cam Chancellor and Cliff Averill, they
couldn't get a doctor to sign
I'm not
off?
signing off. I'm not releasing you. No.
Oh wow.
We got one more topic to get to today. Anthony's about to put this in the chat, but if you have not filled out the 2024 UCSS survey, he's going to pin it to the chat. Please fill it out. Help us out. Give us some feedback on UCSS from this year so we can make it even better for 2025. And speaking of 2024 in review, guys, it is our last show of 2024. We want to thank everyone for tuning in and being part of the ride that we went on this year, all the ups, the downs of Cleveland sports. So let's go across the board, G. We'll start with you, with Tyvis. What is one thing you learned for sure, one definitive you learned about any of the three Cleveland sports in 2024? We're going to do the year in review, then look ahead to 2025. But to start, one thing you learned for sure about Cleveland sports in 2024.
What I learned about Cleveland sports in 2024 is there's a few things, but I'm going to try to boil it down to one. They go through varying degrees of playing us. Like, I learned that each ownership group plays off the other ownership group. A lot of people think that they're not tied in any way, shape, or form, and there's just camaraderie and we root for each other, but it don't be going down like that. Case in point, the Guardians will be like, oh, we got some goodwill built up, right? The Browns is trash right now. So we can afford to do certain things. Like, we can be like, all right, well, we're not going to spend this money. We're not going to do certain things. We went to the ALCS. We got some stuff built up. So the fan base will be like, well, at least they went to the ALCS and they're winning all the time. So I can't be too mad at the Guardians if I'm already mad at the Browns. But then the Cavs was like, well, listen, you guys, I'm a little salty because we get treated like the stepchildren of the town. We win, too. We the only one with the championship, and y'all just made us get rid of our coach. We won 51 games. And they're like, yeah, you're right. We're going to get rid of him. And they did, and it worked out. But I think all three teams, like, they look and see what the climate is. They figure out what's going on, and they make little certain moves where it's just like, okay, I know they're not going to kill us for it right now, because X, Y, and Z is happening on those other squads. So for me, I'll take the fact that, you know, those squads that win, we give them praise. The squads that we don't give them any praise at all. And I think people take that advantage of that so they can have goodwill.
Dustin?
I've learned that the Cleveland Browns are always going to be the Cleveland Browns. And frankly, it just feels as though and I hope this changes when the team moves, because since they've been back and they played in that building, I mean, to think that we have not won a playoff game in that building.
Crazy.
Never hosted.
And never hosted a playoff game in that building. And they're going to tear it
Probably
down.
won't.
And they're going to tear it down. And without ever hosting a playoff game.
No,
That's
they get it done in 28.
They might. I mean, I hate to say that they're doomed forever, but like, this ownership group continues to make these befuddling mistakes, and they try. I'm not saying they're not trying to win, but they're trying to win the wrong way. And this Deshaun Watson, easy way out, this cheat code that just didn't work. Because I guess it tells you one thing: you can't cheat the system, man. Because like there's not an easy way to win games in this league, and this team needs to seriously look at themselves in the mirror, figure out if they've got the right people in place, and start this thing over, because it's going to take some time to build back up to where they were prior to going all in on Deshaun Watson. And I feel so bad for Browns fans, because they go through this time and time again, and they're tortured. They're torturing people that have been drove to insane asylums over this. That's how bad I feel for Browns fans. They're literally destroying people's mental health, these Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah, I need a break. After the season's over, I can't. I need a break from this. I can't. I don't want to.
You taking off?
No, I'm just going to check out.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll say, too, is that for whatever reason in this town, the good teams don't get the love.
Whoa.
Yeah, they don't.
That's where I'm going on this, Dustin. But Tyvus, you're up first.
You're right.
First of all, I want to say I can't believe that the Wolverines is winning 16-0 against Alabama. That's crazy. But
three turnovers.
I'm gonna be pretty general. What I've learned from the three teams, really an all Ohio team, except Ohio State, but all Ohio sports teams, is that you can't throw money at the situation to fix everything. Right. Money does not fix everything. Just because you got money and you throw it at the situation, that is not the key to getting it done. I've learned that actually having time, patience, and development is actually more important and more of a key ingredient to success. And you can take that just by looking at the three Cleveland teams. The Cleveland Browns took a bunch of money and threw it at certain players, and it didn't pan out. But then you look at the Guardians, who don't spend no money at all. They take the time and the patience and the development, and they develop their guys, and boom, they go to right before the World Series. You look at the Cavs. The Cavs was a team that, yeah, they might have went out and got Donovan Mitchell and all those things, but the majority of their team is guys that they took the time, the patience, and the development of, and now they get to where they are. I also learned that just because we're on the outside looking in, my thought, outside of the Browns maybe, is to trust that organizations know what the heck they're doing. Because there are so many times before the Guardian season, we were so upset at some of the moves that they didn't make, some of the people that they let go, and boom, they had the season that they have. We looked at the Cavs after they lost to the Celtics last year and said, you know what, blow it up. Get rid of Darius. Get rid of Evan. Get rid of Jared. They said, no. We're going to get rid of the coach, and that's all we need to do. And boom, they're having the success that they're having. So what I've learned is I'm starting to trust those organizations more as far as they know what's going on. They're around their team. They're around their people. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to fall back and just trust what they got going on. And I'm praying that the Browns figure something out where they can get to that situation. But right now, they're the only ones that don't use that philosophy of time, patience, and development. And that's the three things that I think is missing. And that's the three things that they need to fix, that they've been needing to fix for a very long time, because I think they just like throwing money and getting the big name guy. And that big name guy has never came here and worked out for us. Boom.
Let's make some resolutions now for next year. You can pick any team you want, but, G, we'll start with you again. Make a resolution, a New Year's resolution for one of the three Cleveland sports teams that hopefully we can hold them to for the upcoming year.
New Year's resolution, I'm going to go with the Browns. The other two teams, they don't need resolutions. They got front offices for that, right? They actually do a decent job of figuring out what they need to do. For the Browns, it's simple. Mary Kay talked about it. You got to find a quarterback. I know you want to, look at the landscape, and you want to, be judicious in the way you want to look at the picks. And I know we've talked about you don't want to force a quarterback. But listen, let me tell you something. The alternative is, if you don't force a quarterback, you come out here and you're terrible again, and one of those quarterbacks that you passed on is good, you get fired. Sometimes you got to pull the trigger on something. And right now, the Browns are in a position where they can do a lot of things. They can go after some retreads. They can go after a lot of dudes. They can get a tackle or a defensive end, whatever the case may be. But until you get a quarterback, and until you put your flag down, and for Stefanski, it is imperative. I don't care if you get it round 1, round 4, round 5. You have to choose a quarterback, because you are the person that is going to make the direct representation of how that dude is going to play. Like, you have to put your stamp on a quarterback. You got to take the play calling and make it what it is, but you got to get a quarterback. So don't come out here and talk about we're going to wait till next year, and stop talking about Arch Manning. Y'all crack me up with that. You can't plan to be trash a whole year in advance for a kid that plays 3 or 4 games. And I hate when people tank for Andrew Luck or RG. Stop it. Leave that alone. You got to find y'all a quarterback and do it in a hurry.
Well, my New Year's resolution would be for the Cleveland Guardians, which may surprise some people who who think that I'm
checked out on
just
those
checked
guys.
out on the baseball team. No, in all seriousness, I think the resolution for the Cleveland Guardians needs to be, we will do whatever it takes. It used to be the Cavs logo, or the thing, whatever it takes. Remember that one year they had the whatever it takes? It should be the Guardians' motto this year, that whatever it takes. And like, look at the league and realize that we have been there every single season. We've been so close, and decide that you're going to just do a little bit more. Just a little more. Like, not begging you for like another $100 million, but like, can we just get like, 20 million more?
Yeah, maybe. Just look
something.
Take a cash that payday cash.
Don't we got this new owner coming in soon? When's that happening?
Yeah.
What's his name? Blitzer? Wolf Blitzer?
We've been here. Jay been telling us about him
I'm
since.
kidding. What's the guy's name?
That is.
Isn't that the guy on CNN?
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he's always surprised at the desk. Now, Jay been telling us about this Blitzer dude for.
I know.
Since 04. And I ain't seen no new bread.
But yes, Guardians, spend some cash this year.
Tyvis last up, then we got some super chats.
Mine's is very simple. I'm going to go with the Cavaliers since you guys took the other two. I'll just take the Cavaliers, and I'll say, listen, don't wait. Don't wait. I know it's been a good story and all those things. Don't wait for it. Take it now. Take this town. This town is dying for somebody. The Guardians, listen, they was close, but no cigar. The Browns are in a dumpster fire right now. It is a prime position for you to take over this town and be lead. I know they said that this is always be a Browns town, but y'all got players that guys love. The team is winning in a dominant fashion. This is the time for y'all to take the helm of Cleveland. When they think about Cleveland, they'll think about the Cavaliers. Y'all have obviously the most recent championship. Make them try to forget about LeBron. Try that. Let's go there. How do you do that? You do what the Warriors couldn't do. You go out there and you break the record and then come home with a championship. It's undeniable. You have the talent to do it. Don't wait for next year. Don't wait till, we're in place. We got the right progress. Do it now, because next year, I promise you, you give a whole team a year and off-season tape to figure out what you're doing, it's going to be much harder. Do it right now. Take this town by storm. There it is.
And that's our year in review, our 2025 resolutions. Let's get to some super chats to finish off our last show of 2024. D. Grat says, if Minnesota re-signs Darnold and Myles Garrett requests a trade, would you trade Myles Garrett for J.J. McCarthy and Minnesota's first-round pick?
That's been the hot topic.
Yes.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Was that your response first?
No, it's whoever responds.
Is that open to everybody? Okay.
I'd
consider it.
I think Darnold would fit what Kevin wants.
No, I need another pick.
I would need Darnold. Or not. Wait, you say JJ, right?
McCarthy.
JJ fits exactly what Kevin wants to do in his scheme, because it's the same thing they ran with the Wolverines. It's a heavy run, heavy play action. I think that fits what Kevin wants to do. And I love the fact that he spent the year learning under Kevin O'Connell, who I think is an unbelievable coach. So I think that getting him to come in here and run that type of style offense with Kevin Stefanski, I think Stefanski won't have to do too much coaching because he already has a solid foundation.
I need another pick, dog. Myles Garrett, I'm only doing 2 ones. I don't care who it is.
Oh, he said JJ for Myles?
No, JJ and the one.
I need ones. I need multiple ones. Off top.
All right, next up, Marinko Milo says, you guys are missing the main point. Haslam wants us to pay for half of it. Salvatore the 216 says, I meant to ask, do you believe that LeBron will have a statue in Cleveland within 10 years of his retirement?
As soon as he's done.
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes. He also says, is Donovan Mitchell a Hall of Famer?
Not yet.
Not yet. Next up, Kevin Phillips says, Tyvis G, learn the direct economic impact on your demographic for people who use public transportation to get to work. Those jobs are crucial, literally moving jobs from hood to the suburbs. When crime rate goes up, what will you say then?
Well, here's the reality of the situation.
I'm worried about getting the people off the streets.
That's the problem with gentrification. Like when you lose.
What was that word you said?
Gentrification.
Okay. I've never heard that word before.
Good effort.
Yeah.
And go one more time.
Gentrified.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I have? It's like the spelling bee.
The floor is yours.
Spelling
Go
bee.
ahead.
Can
We
I
got
put it
2
in-
minutes.
Can I put it in a noun? Could you use it?
You use it in a
That's the
sentence,
language of
please.
origin, please.
Latin.
BD Dog 21
Adjective.
says, I love Mary Kay, but I've watched the film. None of these guys are a top 3 pick. That was in regards to the quarterbacks. Nick Morgan says, we're turning into Cavangelis. Oh, shoot, I'm going to say it's Evangelicis. Is that how I say it? How much?
Evangelist?
I'm trying to say it how he spelt it.
Cavalanche?
He's trying to take Evangel. Now I can't even say
Oh,
it.
I
regular.
just busted his stones.
Listen,
What is
now,
he-
listen.
what is
I came off smooth.
I don't even know
This
what he's
one-
saying.
I don't even know what the word is.
I'm now trying to combine the word with the real word, and I can't get it out. But
It's done.
We love the Cavs. Yes, Nick Morgan, we love the Cavs.
I don't know what he was trying to say.
Daryl says DTR equals doesn't throw to receivers. This experiment shows just how bad this brass is at evaluating talent. Go Cavs and Buckeyes.
Hey.
Salvatore the 216 says Dean Wade has a great contract, can guard 1 through 5, can shoot. No question who starts in the playoffs at the 3. He's the difference between a second-round exit and an Eastern Conference Finals berth. And last but not least, Dontavius Winston says, I like Barry, but not when it comes to drafting. I wish we could have him only for cap and money purposes and have someone else draft and evaluate prospects. Also, Strus needs to be deep on the Cavs bench.
Dang, he just got back. He demoted 3 people.
It's too early to make any sweep.
He demoted. He demoted Barry to an accountant, and Strus gets no man. I'm like, dang, he just got here.
He ain't wrong. I don't see it. I don't see it, Max.
Hey man,
Big
listen.
game tomorrow.
Hey man,
baby.
happy year, another year UCSS
Happy
is
New
dominating.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry New Year.
Peace.